Ask Lieutenant Williams to come up and provide an update on law enforcement activities.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Patridge, and council members. In light of the recent gang-related shooting that occurred on August 14th in the Arnold Park neighborhood, I'd like to take the opportunity tonight to provide the council with a summary of events that have occurred over the past few weeks. Some of this information was brought up and discussed at the community meeting, but I wanted to put it in a perspective and an overview of all that's been occurring since that incident. So on the incident itself, on Sunday, August 14th, the deputies were dispatched to shots fired in the 200 block of Grove Street in the city of Half Moon Bay. The deputies arrived and found several spent shell casing and an intoxicated and uncooperative victim who'd been shot in the foot. The following day, on August 15th, a second victim showed up at Seton Coast side with a single gunshot wound to the chest. That victim was transported to Stanford Hospital in stable condition at the time, and he was subsequently released. Investigators determined that this incident was gang-related. There was a swift response. Within 2 minutes of the call being dispatched, there were 6 patrol units on scene. Additional units continued to respond. A total of 12 patrol units, 2 canine units, 2 patrol supervisors, 1 detective, 1 reserve deputy sheriff, and an air support from the Sheriff's Air Squadron was overhead. In the initial days, the Sheriff's Office stepped up patrols and added additional units to discourage retaliation and take a stand against further gang-related activity. Sheriff Monks assigned 4 detectives full-time to work on this case, and the resources of the county-wide gang task force were deployed and focused their efforts on gang enforcement activities. On August 30th, that was Tuesday, August 30th, Sheriff Ray Monks and you, the council, our city leaders, hosted a community meeting to address gangs and graffiti. This meeting, as you've discussed, was attended by close to 300 residents who came motivated to take a stand against gang activity. The meeting provided information on gangs, gang prevention, education, neighborhood watch, alternatives for youth such as assault activities, and graffiti abatement along the list of topics. Members of the communities, the schools, and faith-based organizations offered ideas for solutions and a willingness to help. On Thursday, September 4th, the San Mateo County Sheriff's SWAT team, Half Moon Bay patrol units, sheriff's investigators, and officers from allied law enforcement agencies conducted a search warrant at a residence on Metzger Avenue. The primary suspect was taken into custody at that time. 2 other individuals were also arrested later that morning after probation searches at their residence. And a 4th subject was taken into custody in San Francisco. These arrests account for all the 4 individuals who are believed to be directly involved in this incident. While this incident is extremely serious and outrageous in nature, it remains an isolated incident. Recent attempts to sell TV ratings by classifying this as gang warfare are outrageous and insulting to our community. Gangs and gang activity are a concern to every community in varying degrees. Half Moon Bay and the larger coastside are no exception. This is a complex socioeconomic problem that has one clear directive, and it can only be prevented when everyone becomes involved. The response from you, our leaders, and the community sends a clear message that gang activity and gang behavior will not be tolerated. The work really has just begun. Investigators continue the work on this case, community outreach, work in the schools. Ongoing efforts include Sheriff's School Resource Officers working with the school officials on gang prevention, education, and juvenile issues, and on-campus concerns. Sheriff's Activities League has a new program coordinator who will oversee a broad continuum of safe, accessible, and affordable programs and make those available to our youth to build positive partnerships between youth, deputies, and the community. Additional activities, including dance, drumming, character development, bullying prevention, gang prevention, homework club, are among the many programs offered by SAL. The Arletta Park neighborhood is in the process of forming a neighborhood watch program. As mentioned previously, nearly 100 residents met on a Saturday afternoon in a grassroots efforts to organize themselves. They plan to meet on a regular basis to further develop their community, our neighborhood watch program. City Manager Laura Snyman and I, along with Larry Carnahan from Public Works, are working to establish a procedure for graffiti removal on an ongoing basis. for maintaining that. A graffiti removal hotline has also been established and is currently receiving tips. The Community Policing Unit is looking at conducting a Citizens Police Academy, and Caron is continuing outreach in the Spanish-speaking community, and all of these programs are offered in English and in Spanish. That, I think, provides an overview of all the things that are going on and all the work that still needs to be done. I think, as you mentioned, that the community, quite honestly, I'm humbled and I'm proud as a Coastside resident at the community response to this issue. It's incredible, and I've never seen such motivation to come together, and that's more than half the battle. But the work has just begun, and we need to continue our efforts, and really, with everybody involved, I truly believe that we can make a difference on this issue.
Thank you. Are there any questions or anything? Okay. No.
Is there anything for Lieutenant Williams? Thank you very much for that update.